What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Thank you for checking out another video. This is going to be a reaction video of the Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight. Just, I thought it was a great fight, but before we jump into it, like always, I hope you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, and press the bell icon so whenever a new video goes up, we can get notified. It really does help push my content and get it out there to you guys. I know some of you are new to boxing and boxing lovers and boxing fans, or also people who are looking to elevate their fitness and just get active. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So my thoughts of the Davis versus Garcia fight. In a nutshell, I thought it was a great fight. It was a great event. Well deserving of a main event. It had a lot of build up, which was great. And I thought it was highly contested. I thought it was Davis's most difficult fight. Obviously, Garcia's the most difficult fight. And it was just good to see for the sport, because a lot of the times you get guys that dodge each other and they don't fight till the tail end of their career, or when one guy's over the hill and just wants a big paycheck. So it was always good to see two dogs, go head to head when they're in their prime. So it's always good to see. I'd like to see a rematch, let Garcia work on some stuff, get back in there. I'm pretty sure Davis would be open to it, especially if the money's right, because like he said in the video, he's a prize fighter. So that's a shameless plug. You guys check out that video, it's hilarious. But let's jump right into it. So overall, like I said, it was a great fight. I'm going to talk about who did what well, who needs things to improve on, and then we'll wrap up. So right into it, we'll go with the winner, Davis by knockout in the 7th round. I think about the minute 40, with a beautiful liver shot. So going off of that, Davis, in my opinion, pretty much fought a flawless fight. He was moving around, really making his way, trying to think his way through, and you'll realize that as you look at boxing more and more, especially at the higher levels, for the subscribers that are here, you'll see that the difference at high level fights isn't the faster fighter, the stronger fighter. It's who's willing to dig down deep and who's willing to think their way through. So that's what I really liked about Davis, is that he was taking his time. As much as it seemed like Garcia was putting the pressure on in the first round, and like halfway into like the second, it seemed like, he was really putting the pressure on. I thought that, Davis is really thinking his way through. So overall, I think Davis fought a pretty much flawless fight. So it was really good to see. But what Ryan did well, I thought Ryan was doing well in terms of trying to utilize his jab as a taller, longer fighter. He was, staying without a decent range for some parts of the fight. And, so it definitely was looking good for a little bit. And then, there was a lapse. But like I said, Garcia had some good moments. He was using his length well. He was staying outside of range for some parts of the fight. One thing I really liked, the adjustment he made, was that he wasn't landing the left hook. He realized around the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So then he's like, let me try and land the flush straight right. So then he landed some clean straight rights on Tank, and he earned Tank's respect in terms of his power. And so that was good to see. In terms of Davis, what he did wrong or could have done better, if I had to nitpick, in my opinion. But like I said, I thought he fought a flawless fight. But if I had to nitpick, maybe a little more activity, a little more body work earlier. But as you can tell, he was still working towards it. He still got the win. He still got the knockout. So, and I'm not trying to be biased. Like, I am a fan of Tank. I'm also a fan of Garcia. But I just know that being in the sport for so long, especially as an amateur fighter, you can pick apart and see what's going on. So that, in terms of things that Davis could have done better, is maybe just, be a little more active in the earlier rounds and attack the body more. Sorry to say this, but for Garcia fans on the other side, there's a lot of things he needs to work on in terms of trying to get to that next level. Because I think he's right there. He definitely can get to the higher end of the lightweights, the Devin Haney's, the Lomachenkos, the Gervonta Davis, and now Shakur Stevenson, who's moving up. He can definitely get there. It's not a question if he can't. He definitely can. But one thing I noticed is he doesn't change his rhythm. He always tries to throw at the same speed and power. So what I mean by that is that when he's going in with like his 1-2, he's always throwing at the same speed instead of changing it. So it's harder to read. So you'll notice Tank started catching up to him the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. Those are the rounds he stole. Then Garcia had a good sixth round, and then obviously Tank knocked him out in the seventh. So yeah, so that's one thing I'd like to see, is him changing his rhythm more, not always relying on a power shot and trying to set things up, using more feints. Feints are always really good. If you notice, Gervonta was using a lot of feints, and if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much it's like in basketball, it's like a jab step, or in soccer, it's like a deke of the foot with the ball. So it's very similar in boxing. So you just fake it, and you can go fake left, you can fake right. So I would like to see Garcia do more of that. Another thing is he pulls straight back. Right? There's nothing wrong with stepping back, but you can step back and get in an angle, or step back and go to the right, or use your head movement to be able to, if you're going to step back, use your head movement to avoid the shot. So that's a problem. And if you notice that, especially in the seventh, Garcia would throw, he'd miss, Tank would put his head down, and then he stuck the body shot in, but it was because Garcia pulled straight back. So changing rhythm, more feints, not always something with power, or some good things that he can work on. But I still think he fought well. He had really good moments. It was a great fight. So that was my reaction. So I think honestly, I was surprised at the knockout too, because I know a lot of us didn't really see it. Like, it was very slight, but when you watch a replay, when Garcia threw the right hand and the Tank kept his head down and shot the southpaw uppercut to his liver, that was it, man. If you haven't experienced that before, it's a very painful shot, and it's a weakness everyone has, and it's on the right side if you don't know. And yeah, so that's kudos to Tank, man. He really sees an opportunity, put in a great show. We'd love to see it again. We'd like to see the guys at the highest level fight in their primes, which is great for the sport. So yeah, that's my reaction. Thank you for sticking around and watching the video. Like always, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the link, and hit the bell icon so you can really get my content and push it. I'll have a lot more coming up. We'll see you guys, and take care.